Before we jump into today's episode, I'm so excited to be able to tell you that my debut book, Optimal You, Supercharge Your Energy, Strengthen Your Immunity, will be published on the 19th of November, with the Kindle edition available on the 18th for 99p for one day only, so set an alert in your diary. Optimal You is a groundbreaking guide uncovering the 8 pillars of health for supercharged energy and strengthened immunity to optimize your health and extend your health span. Delve into evidence-based strategies to optimize nutrition, balance your lifestyle, reduce toxin exposure, and address root causes of health imbalances. There's a 14-step anti-inflammatory nutrition blueprint included in the book to supercharge your mitochondria and fortify your immune system, plus my 4 lifestyle S's: sleep, stress, strength, and social, that form the foundation of optimal well-being. The book will help you to empower yourself with practical tools and insights to embark on a transformative journey towards the optimal version of you. You can pre-order your copy or read what people are saying about the book at optimalyoubook.com. Now let's head to today's episode. Welcome to the Good Health Podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Good, a certified functional medicine practitioner, registered nutritionist, and author. In this podcast, we delve into the world of energy and immune health and wellness with positivity, from optimal health and energy to stress and burnout, right through to immune conditions such as thyroid and autoimmune disease. We deep dive into functional medicine, nutritional medicine, and lifestyle medicine, as well as the personal stories of our amazing guests, from Olympians to famous faces and guest experts from all different parts of the health and wellness world. It's time to stop letting your health hold you back and become the optimal version of you. Don't forget to come and join the conversation on Instagram at good_health, that's GOODE, or visit the website nicolegoodhealth.com to find out more. Welcome to the Good Health Podcast, where we deep dive into the science and strategies of health optimization. I'm your host, Nicole Good, a certified functional medicine practitioner and registered nutritionist, and today we're focusing on a topic that's essential for anyone who is navigating a busy, demanding lifestyle, and that is brain performance and cognitive function. In today's fast-paced world, maintaining that sharp mental clarity, focus, and energy can quite often feel like a challenge. And whether you're managing multiple projects, you're leading a team, or simply trying to stay on top of a very packed schedule, your brain is constantly in demand. But what if you could unlock more of its potential? What if you could optimize your cognitive function to help you navigate through your busy day with greater ease and efficiency? In this episode, we'll be exploring the functional medicine approach to enhancing brain performance. We'll cover how different elements, from supplements to essential nutrients, lifestyle practices, and dietary habits, can make a significant impact on your mental clarity, your focus, and your overall cognitive health. We'll also look at the science behind these elements, and I'll share some practical tips and real-world examples from my clinical experience. So if you're looking to supercharge your brain and improve how you think, work, and feel throughout the day, let's get started. So when we talk about brain performance, we're referring to several key aspects of cognitive function, and that is memory, focus, processing speed, decision-making abilities, and even creativity. Our brain is one of the most energy-intensive organs in the body, consuming about 20% of our total energy. And to function optimally, it needs a steady supply of nutrients, oxygen, and efficient waste removal. And this is where the functional medicine approach becomes crucial. Functional medicine looks at the root causes of health issues. So rather than just treating symptoms, when it comes to brain health, it means we're understanding how the different systems in the body, so things like the mitochondria, the gut, the immune system, cardiovascular system, all interact and affect cognitive function. A holistic approach allows us to identify and address any imbalances or deficiencies that might be affecting your brain's ability to perform at its best. So let's start by talking about the mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cells. And this is something that we've talked about many times on this podcast, and we will link episodes on the mitochondria below in the show notes if you want to dig into these in more detail. But specifically in relation to the brain, the mitochondria play a very critical role in energy production, and their function is directly linked to how well our brain works. Inside each brain cell, mitochondria generate energy by producing ATP, adenosine triphosphate. And when this process is disrupted, and that's by factors such as poor diet, lack of sleep, chronic stress, or quite simply just aging, it can lead to brain fog, reduced focus, impaired memory, inability to make decisions as quickly as we used to. So from a functional medicine perspective, one of the first steps to optimizing brain performance is to ensure the mitochondria are functioning effectively. And this can be achieved through a combination of lifestyle changes, nutritional support, and targeted supplementation, which we'll be exploring throughout this episode. Another critical aspect of brain function is neurotransmitter balance. So neurotransmitters are the chemicals that allow our brains to communicate with each other. We have to think of them as like our brain's internal messaging system. And some of the common neurotransmitters that you may have heard of are things like dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and GABA. And each of these plays a really unique role. For example, dopamine, very associated with your motivation, your focus, and your reward, where acetylcholine is essential for learning and for memory. So they've each got their own individual functions. And when neurotransmitter levels are out of balance, it can lead to a variety of cognitive issues. So things like difficulty concentrating, memory issues, right through to things like anxiety and mood swings. And through functional medicine, we look at factors that might be disrupting your neurotransmitter production, things like nutrient deficiencies, poor gut health, hormonal imbalances. And then we address those in order to restore that optimal brain function. Now, we've just mentioned the gut, but the gut and the brain are inextricably linked. They're very connected and often referred to as that gut-brain axis. And research shows that the gut health directly impacts brain health, with neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine actually being produced in the gut. So if we want to work on balancing those neurotransmitters out, we've got to work on the gut. And the state of your microbiome, the community of that bacteria that is living in your gut, can influence everything from your mood to your memory to how well you process information. In functional medicine, we place a significant focus on gut health, recognizing that issues like dysbiosis, so the imbalance in that gut bacteria, intestinal permeability or leaky gut, and inflammation can all lead to this impaired brain performance. Addressing gut health through things like probiotics, prebiotics, nutrient-dense diets, fiber, they can all have really profound effects on cognitive function. Another aspect we have to take into consideration is efficient blood flow to the brain. That's another key factor in maintaining cognitive health. The brain relies on a steady supply of oxygen and glucose, and both of these are delivered through blood circulation. So issues with things like high blood pressure, so our cardiometabolic system, inflammation, or even dehydration can reduce blood flow to the brain, leading to symptoms such as brain fog, headaches, memory lapses, and more. The functional medicine approach is to look at the health of the cardiovascular system as a whole. And we look at things like nutrients, so things like omega-3 fatty acids, magnesiums, and how we can boost and improve that blood flow to the brain, as well as using things like lifestyle factors such as exercise, hydration. They're also really crucial, and we'll dig more into these later in the episode. Lastly, we really need to address oxidative stress. So oxidative stress occurs when there's this imbalance between free radicals, which are the unstable molecules that can damage cells, and the body's ability to neutralize them with antioxidants. And again, we've talked about this in those mitochondria episodes. So if you want to learn more, you can jump back and listen to those episodes. But the brain is particularly susceptible to oxidative stress because of its higher metabolic rate. So over time, this stress can actually accelerate aging and can lead to those conditions like Alzheimer's disease and other neurodegenerative disorders. So the functional medicine approach to managing oxidative stress involves a diet rich in those antioxidants, including things like vitamin C and E, your polyphenols, your flavonoids, all found in those colourful fruit and veg, as well as having supplementation play a role. So by taking a functional medicine approach, we're not just looking at the symptoms like brain fog or forgetfulness, we're looking at the underlying factors, whether it's mitochondrial dysfunction, neurotransmitter imbalance, poor gut health, impaired blood flow, or oxidative stress. And then we're addressing the body holistically. And this is what makes this approach so powerful. It doesn't just temporarily boost your brain function, we're optimizing your brain health in a sustainable and long-term way. So now that we've set the stage by exploring those foundations of brain performance, let's get into two key supplements that can enhance brain energy and function. And that is NAD and MCT oil. And both of these have gained significant attention in the world of cognitive health, and for good reason. So let's break down what they are, how they work, and why they've become this game changers in mental clarity and focus. NAD is a coenzyme. It's found in every cell of our body, and it plays a critical role in energy production. Specifically, it's involved in the Krebs cycle, which is how our cells convert nutrients into usable energy in the form of ATP. And when we talk about brain energy, we're essentially talking about how efficiently our brain cells can produce ATP, and NAD is at the heart of this process. As we age, our levels of NAD naturally decline. So by the time we turn 40, we've lost half of our NAD. And that's not that old. So I recently actually recorded 2 episodes specifically on NAD. And if you want to dive deeper into this area, we'll link them in the show notes below this episode. But this decline in NAD has been associated with a range of age-related issues. So from things like reduced energy levels to cognitive decline. And The brain as a high energy organ is really particularly sensitive to these NAD levels. And low NAD can also lead to reduced mitochondrial function. That means there's less energy for the neurons to perform their tasks. And that leads to the brain fog, the slower processing, and memory lapses. The functional medicine approach looks to support and boost these NAD levels as a way to enhance cellular energy and brain performance. And that's through a range of means. We can look at specific dietary practices, lifestyle interventions, as well as supplementation. So in practice, I've seen patients who are struggling with really persistent fatigue, with brain fog, lack of focus, and really starting to maybe struggle at work as well with making decisions. And even after addressing the basic lifestyle factors like sleep and nutrition, they are still really struggling. And that's when we might start to work with supplementation. And when we introduce these supplements that help to boost NAD levels and work on the nutrition and lifestyle to support this, there's a marked improvement in their cognitive clarity and sustained energy levels throughout the day. And it's a really powerful example of how supporting yourself at that cellular energy level can directly translate into better brain performance. One patient recently sent me a message saying, "I'm not feeling sluggish on waking anymore. Thanks again for everything. I'm starting to feel like my normal self again," which is having a great knock-on effect for many things, especially work. And this is a really powerful way of looking at optimizing your health. And it's actually the reason that I wrote my book, Optimal You. So let's have a look at MCT oil. MCT oil is actually derived from coconut oil, and it consists of medium chain fatty acids. And what makes these fats unique is their ability to be quickly converted into ketones, which is an alternative energy source for the brain. Unlike glucose, which has to undergo a more complex metabolic process, ketones can be readily used by the brain cells for energy and can provide a quicker and often cleaner energy source. So for those who are experiencing brain fog, poor concentration, or fluctuating energy, MCT oil may be a helpful tool. And the ketones that are produced from MCTs cross the blood-brain barrier, so provide the brain with a really efficient fuel source. And that's particularly beneficial for individuals who may not be metabolizing glucose effectively, such as those with insulin resistance or those who are following a ketogenic diet. MCT oil has also been found to enhance focus and memory by stimulating the production of BDNF, that's brain-derived neurotropic factor. And this is a protein that supports the growth and survival of new neurons. And it makes it an excellent supplement for anyone who is looking to maintain or improve their cognitive health, but also for those who have neurological disorders. So we know that improving and stimulating the production of BDNF is really beneficial in things like MS. And I've recorded an episode on BDNF, and we'll link that as well below this episode in the show notes. If you're new to MCT oil, it's easy to incorporate it into your diet. You can add it to your morning coffee, you can blend it into a smoothie, you can even use it as a salad dressing. A tip is to start small. We always say go low and slow. So start with a small dose, maybe build up very slowly. And this helps to avoid any digestive discomfort that you might get. So I had a patient recently, he was a really busy executive. He was struggling with afternoon sort of slumps. His brain fog was getting worse, struggling to make decisions quite as quickly as he used to. And despite eating a really balanced diet, he found it was really difficult to actually sustain energy levels through the longer meetings. And after introducing MCT oil into his morning routine, amongst other things we do for cognitive function, this was just one of the things we did, he reported feeling a lot sharper, a lot more focused, and had more sustained energy throughout the day. And this is a perfect example of how just making small tweaks can really have that profound impact on brain performance. Interestingly, NAD and MCT oil can work synergistically together to boost brain energy. NAD supports the efficient production of cellular energy, while MCT oil is providing an alternative fast-acting energy source that can help to sustain focus and clarity. Together, they can really help to create a more consistent and reliable energy supply for the brain, which is especially useful for those who are navigating those high-stress environments or heavy workloads or busy lifestyles. You can actually shop our energy edit of supplements at the link below this episode. So you can buy the whole bundle or just the selected products that you need. And we've partnered with a company called W Wellness to bring you these supplement edits from high quality and bioavailable sources. While W Wellness research the brands and supplements for quality and science-backed performance, I've curated an edit of supplements to support an area of concern, such as the energy edit that you can use here, for example. You can use code Nicole10 for discount, and we'll link all of this in the show notes below. So supporting brain energy is all about ensuring that our cells have the fuel they need to perform at their best. And by boosting NAD levels and incorporating MCT oil into your routine, you can actually enhance your brain's ability to produce and sustain energy. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. It's a very powerful one, but it's just one piece. And we do need to take a holistic approach. So let's look at some other key nutrients that play an essential role in maintaining cognitive health. So in addition to NAD and MCT oil, there are several other key nutrients that play a crucial role in supporting brain performance and cognitive health. Each of these nutrients contributes to various aspects of brain function, from energy production to neurotransmitter balance and even to neuroprotection. So let's explore some of the most important ones and how they work. Let's start with omega-3 fatty acids. These are essential fats. They're found in fish, in algae, and in certain plant oils. And EPA and DHA are particularly important for brain health. DHA is actually a major structural component of brain cell membranes, and EPA has anti-inflammatory properties that can help protect the brain from damage. DHA plays a key role in maintaining the fluidity and integrity of the cell membranes, which is crucial for effective communication between neurons. And studies have shown that adequate levels of DHA are linked to improved memory, learning, and overall cognitive performance. EPA, on the other hand, helping with that neuroinflammation, and that is often the hidden culprit behind brain fog, as well as anxiety and mood disorders. So together, EPA and DHA can really help to enhance focus, mood stability, and even protect against age-related cognitive decline. I once worked with a client who had trouble concentrating and frequently experienced mood swings. And after assessing her diet, we found that she really lacked that omega-3 intake. We introduced a high-quality fish oil supplement, and within 8 weeks, she noticed significant improvements in her mood stability and her ability to focus during these long work hours. So omega-3 has a really significant impact on the brain. Then we've got B vitamins, so especially B6, B9, which you may also know as folate, and B12. These are all really critical for brain function, and they're involved in the production of neurotransmitters, so things like your serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, which all affect that mood, energy levels, and cognitive function. B vitamins also play a role in methylation, which is a biochemical process that affects brain detoxification and DNA repair. Deficiencies in B vitamins can lead to a range of cognitive issues, from poor memory, mental fatigue, even to more serious conditions like depression. Folate and B12 in particular are essential for the production of something called SAMe, which is a compound involved in mood regulation. Without sufficient B vitamins, neurotransmitter production can falter, leading to mood disturbances and cognitive impairment. If you're looking to boost your B vitamin intake, you're going to want to look at food like leafy greens, eggs, fish, poultry, and legumes. And for those following plant-based diets, it may be difficult to get enough B12 and you may need to look at supplementation. And that's because B12 is primarily found in those animal products. Next, let's take a look at magnesium, the calming mineral. So magnesium is often referred to as nature's relaxant, and that's because of its ability to calm the nervous system. It's involved in over 300 biochemical processes in the body, and that includes the regulation of neurotransmitters. So magnesium has been proven to help promote relaxation, to reduce anxiety, and to improve sleep. And all of those things are critical for maintaining cognitive performance. Magnesium also plays a key role in regulating NMDA receptors, which are involved in synaptic plasticity. So this is neuroplasticity. It's going to impact how we learn and help us to retain information. And low levels of magnesium have been associated with increased anxiety, poor concentration, and even migraines. One of my patients was a very busy woman, and she was really struggling with anxiety, and she found it really hard actually to wind down at the end of the day. We introduced a magnesium supplement. We use magnesium glycinate. There's lots of different forms of magnesium. You have to make sure you use the right one for you. We use this one for the calming effect. It was well absorbed, and she actually reported feeling a lot less anxious, and that allowed her to be a lot more focused. She also found that she had better sleep quality, and that in turn helped her perform better at work and also made her less anxious because just getting that sleep allowed her to control and manage the anxiety better. So magnesium really important for brain health. As we discussed earlier, the brain is highly susceptible to this oxidative stress, and antioxidants are things like your vitamin C, vitamin E, polyphenols, all come from foods such as your berries, your green tea, dark chocolate. These all help to neutralize these free radicals and protect the brain cells from damage. So polyphenols, particularly flavonoids, are found in berries, and they've been shown to improve blood flow to the brain, enhance memory, and reduce neuroinflammation. Green tea, which is rich in a polyphenol called EGCG, has also been associated with improved attention and cognitive performance. So incorporating a range of these colourful fruits and vegetables into your diet can really significantly increase your antioxidant intake.
You want to aim for lots of variety. So think berries, leafy greens, and dark chocolate to get a mix of different polyphenols to help support that brain health, because they all do different things. And yes, this is your excuse to go and buy some dark chocolate, preferably 70% or more. Lastly, a nutrient we need to consider is choline. And choline is a nutrient that is essential for the production of acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter that's involved in that memory and muscle control. And it also plays a role in the structure of cell membranes. And despite its importance, many of us don't actually get enough or get that much choline in the diet. We're looking at foods like eggs, liver, and soybeans. They're all rich in choline. An adequate choline intake is associated with that improved memory and cognitive resilience, especially as we age. So nutrients really are building blocks of brain health. And those omega-3s, B vitamins, magnesium, antioxidants, choline, they all play really distinct but interconnected roles in supporting cognitive function. And a deficiency in any one can disrupt how your brain performs. The key takeaway here is that by understanding and optimizing your intake of these nutrients, you can actually build a stronger foundation for that long-term cognitive health. Again, you can shop my favorite supplements at the links below this episode, and you can use the code Nicole10 for a discount. So next, let's have a look at lifestyle practices, because how you live beyond just what you eat can also really dramatically influence your brain performance. And it's really important that we take a holistic approach when we're looking at brain health. So we've covered some of those essential nutrients that can support cognitive health. But as with all aspects of well-being, nutrition is just one piece of the puzzle. And the way that we live our lives has a profound impact on how our brains perform. So let's have a look at some of these key lifestyle factors, how they can enhance or hinder cognitive function, and how you can leverage these to your advantage. Let's start with sleep. So sleep is arguably the most important, yet often the most overlooked aspect of brain health. During sleep, the brain undergoes critical processes that help with memory consolidation, detoxification, and the repair of cells. And poor sleep quality or insufficient sleep can impair attention, reduce cognitive function, and even affect our mood and stress levels. During deep sleep, the brain clears out toxins and metabolic waste products through a process called the glymphatic system. Essentially, it's acting as a cleansing mechanism. And without adequate deep sleep, this system doesn't function effectively. And that leads to a buildup of harmful proteins that have been associated with neurodegenerative diseases. Sleep is also when your brain is going to consolidate those memories and transfer information from short-term to long-term storage. So if we're not getting adequate sleep, we're going to have memory problems. On the practical side of this, we want to be aiming for 7 to 9 hours of high-quality sleep a night. We want to create a sleep-friendly environment. We want to reduce blue light exposure an hour before bed at least, maintain a cool room temperature, and establish a consistent bedtime routine. Sometimes supplements like magnesium can really be helpful for those struggling with sleep quality. But if you are struggling to sleep, you can take a look at our sleep edit of supplements, which we'll link below this episode. And it's really important that you always reach out for support. Sleep is so important. So make sure you are getting adequate and good quality sleep. As important as the length of sleep you're getting is the quality of sleep. So then what about exercise? Exercise isn't just about physical health. It's also crucial for brain health. Regular physical activity increases that blood flow to the brain, which is going to help to deliver the oxygen and those nutrients that are going to help support brain cell function. It also promotes the release of neurotropic factors like BDNF, which aid in the growth and survival of neurons. And that's all really beneficial in neurological disorders as well as cognitive health. Like I said, we've recorded an episode of this podcast on BDNF specifically, and we'll link that in the show notes below. Studies have shown that the aerobic exercise, so things like running, swimming, cycling, they can all improve cognitive functions such as memory, attention, and problem solving. Even resistance training has been linked to enhanced cognitive function by stimulating brain plasticity and reducing neuroinflammation. So regular physical activity can also help with stress management, which is going to improve mood and reduce the risk of cognitive decline as we age. It's really important to find a form of exercise that you enjoy, because that means you're much more likely to stick to it regularly. And this could be something as simple as taking a walk, a brisk walk during your lunch break, a morning yoga session, or a weekly tennis game, or even group sport, something that you're going to really enjoy. Consistency is key, and enjoyment is equal to consistency. Even moderate exercise can have really significant benefits for your brain over time. Next, we need to consider chronic stress. Chronic stress is a significant factor that can negatively impact brain performance. So high stress levels lead to an increase in cortisol, a hormone that when elevated for prolonged periods can impair memory, reduce focus, and even damage brain cells in areas critical for learning and memory, such as the hippocampus. Acute stress can be beneficial. We know that. It's in small doses, it acts as a motivator, it enhances focus, and it's a beneficial process. However, when stress becomes chronic, it disrupts the balance of neurotransmitters in our brain, it increases inflammation, and it interferes with the brain's ability to process and store information. And this is why managing stress effectively is really essential for maintaining cognitive health. So incorporating stress-reducing practices into your daily routine really can be transformative. And these can just be small things. Mindfulness techniques such as meditation, deep breathing exercises have really been shown to lower those cortisol levels and improve mental clarity. Activities like journaling, spending some time in nature, or even just engaging in hobbies. So if you love reading, even just doing something like that can really help to unwind and reset your mind. If you struggle with stress, then there is adaptogenic and vitamin support, and that may be beneficial. Some of my favorite recommendations in this area are the new Mind and Wellness and also my stress and burnout edit. We'll link both of those below this episode. But humans really are as well inherently social beings, and we have to consider that social connection when we're looking at brain health. Our brains really thrive on meaningful connections, and engaging in social activities can really help to stimulate brain function, to enhance your mood, and even improve memory. And social interactions actually help activate different parts of the brain, keeping it engaged and active, which is really crucial for that cognitive longevity. Studies have found that people who maintain strong social ties are a lot less likely to experience cognitive decline as they age. Social interaction improves cognitive engagement, problem solving, and emotional regulation. It's actually a form of mental exercise that can really help to keep your brain agile and sharp. So make time to connect with family and friends or colleagues regularly, whether that's in-person, video calls, or even joining a club or a group that have got shared interests. Prioritize quality over quantity so that meaningful interactions have been shown to have a stronger positive impact on your brain rather than superficial conversations. We've already discussed the key nutrients, but it's also really important to highlight how intentional eating can help to shape brain performance as well. Beyond just focusing on what you eat, we should consider how we eat, and eating mindfully can really help in recognizing hunger cues, improving digestion, and ensuring that our brain gets a steady supply of energy throughout the day. So, as well as incorporating a balanced diet rich in all those whole foods, emphasizing a mix of proteins, fats, and carbs, avoiding the excessive sugar and refined carbs, it's also really important to make a habit of eating without distractions, chewing more slowly, and savoring your meals. These small changes can really help to improve nutrient absorption and keep your brain nourished. So lifestyle factors really are integral to brain health, and stress, sleep, exercise, social connection, mindful nutrition, all playing really interconnected roles in maintaining and enhancing cognitive function. And this is why it's really important that we take a holistic approach. So we've touched on some of the key nutrients earlier, but let's take a look a little bit closer at how nutrition influences brain health and cognitive performance. So just like the rest of your body, your brain requires specific nutrients to function optimally. And you can strategically use your diet to enhance mental clarity, focus, and memory. We've looked at how the gut and the brain are inextricably linked through this complex network of nerves, hormones, and neurotransmitters. And this connection, known as the gut-brain axis, plays a really significant role. So your gut produces around 90% of your body's serotonin, and that's the neurotransmitter that affects mood, cognition, and sleep. And a healthy gut microbiome can better support brain function, while an imbalanced microbiome may contribute to things like brain fog, anxiety, and cognitive decline. So diversity in your diet is key. Diversity is key to having a diverse and healthy gut microbiome. Getting as many different foods into the diet as you can. Also including things like prebiotic foods or probiotic foods, so things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, other fermented foods that are really going to help support a balanced microbiome, as well as high fiber foods, so things like your whole grains, your fruits, your veg, your legumes, all really beneficial for that gut bacteria. We've already talked about omega-3s, particularly DHA. These are really critical for brain health. And research suggests that diets that are high in omega-3s are associated with that improved memory, better mood, and a lower risk of neurodegenerative diseases. So fatty fish, things like your salmon, mackerel, sardines, trout, are really excellent sources of DHA and EPA. If you're plant-based or you don't consume fish, you can consider things like flax seeds, walnuts, or algae-based omega-3 supplements. We've already looked at oxidative stress and antioxidants, but those key antioxidant foods to get into the diet are things like your berries. So blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, all really important. really, really rich in those anthocyanins, which have been linked to improved memory. That dark chocolate, that contains flavonoids that may enhance cognitive function and stimulate that blood flow to the brain. And then we've got the leafy greens, things like your spinach and your kale, really high in those vitamins C's, E's, and beta-carotene, which are known for their neuroprotective effects. When we're looking at those B vitamins, as we've talked about, we were looking to incorporate a variety of sources. So we want leafy greens, eggs, nuts, seeds, lean meats. They can all help maintain adequate levels of B vitamins. As we said, if you follow a plant-based diet, that B12 may be difficult. You may want to look to supplementation. If you really are feeling that you are mentally fatigued or you're experiencing memory issues, it may be worth testing some of your vitamin and nutrient levels. When we're looking at diet, it's also really important that we're looking at that balanced blood sugar levels. So your brain is relying on a really steady supply of glucose for energy, but fluctuations in blood sugar levels can lead to brain fog, difficulty concentrating, and mood swings. So a diet that includes refined carbs and sugars can cause rapid spikes and crashes in blood sugar, and that can disrupt the brain function. So instead, we want to be focusing on complex carbs paired with healthy fats and proteins to provide that sustained energy throughout the day. And our complex carbs are things like whole grains, quinoa, sweet potatoes, legumes, all really helpful in maintaining those blood sugar levels. Protein and healthy fats is things like our fish, our eggs, our lean meats, as well as those plant-based options, and healthy fats like avocado, nuts, and olive oil. All of these things help to slow down the absorption of sugars and keep our blood sugar from spiking. One thing that is often really overlooked when we're looking at cognitive function is hydration. So dehydration can impair attention, memory, and mood, even at really mild levels. Your brain is around 75% water, and it's staying hydrated is really essential for maintaining concentration and cognitive function. Yet, as important as it is, it's often one of the most overlooked aspects when we're looking at brain health. So it's really important to drink consistently through the day and aiming for around 2 to 3 litres of water daily. You can include things like your herbal teas in this as well. And you might want to adjust that based on activity level, climate, and also, of course, individual needs. If you're in a hot country and you're exercising, obviously, you're going to need a lot more. We can also think about using hydrating foods. So water-rich foods, things like cucumbers, oranges, watermelon, all going to be really supportive with hydration. So nutrition is a really powerful tool for enhancing that brain performance. From omega-3s that build those cell membranes to antioxidants that protect the neurons, every meal that we eat is an opportunity to support our cognitive function. By focusing on whole, nutrient-dense foods and minimizing processed and high-sugar options, we can provide our brain with the resources it needs to thrive. By understanding the science behind what you eat and making those really intentional choices, you can really help to boost that mental clarity, focus, and resilience against that cognitive decline. So from a lifestyle perspective, what daily rituals could you include to help support cognitive health? Let's start with some small daily practices. So really simple things. Even the most effective strategies don't work unless they are applied regularly. So starting small is always really key and getting it really consistent. Have a really good morning routine. Start your day with some form of brain boosting habit. So you might want to start your day with a walk, with a meditation session, with a nutritious breakfast. You might want to consider incorporating something like MCT oil into your morning coffee or smoothie, whatever it might be. Think about something you can add into your morning routine that's going to really help to boost that brain. At midday, you may want to refocus. So many people experience a dip in energy in the afternoon, and combating this by taking a short break to move your body, to breathe deeply, a quick healthy snack, stretching, a walk outside, any of these things can really help to reset your mind and enhance concentration. And then in the evening, we really want to prioritize that winding down, prepare your brain for sleep, limiting screen time, maybe consider a magnesium supplement if you're really struggling with relaxation, and set a consistent bedtime routine that allows you to get 7 to 9 hours of rest. And remember, quality is as important as quantity. And remember, sleep is when your brain cleans up and consolidates memories. So quality sleep, it really is a non-negotiable. Then we can look to sort of weekly practices for more longer term benefits. So things like your physical activity, make sure you're getting enough moderate exercise in there, aerobic exercise mixed with strength training. That's really going to help to promote that neuroplasticity. Meal planning as well, being organized and meal prepping can really save you time through the week and making sure that you make those healthy choices, even on your busiest days. And then finding time for meaningful interactions, whether it's a weekly coffee catch up with a friend or a book club or a group exercise class, social engagement really is going to help. Also thinking about things like minimizing multitasking. So multitasking can decrease productivity and increase stress, and that can lead to a cognitive overload. So things like time blocking or focusing on a single task for a set period can be really, really useful. And then making sure you take a 5-minute break, even if that is, on the hour, every hour, you take 5 minutes just to get up from your desk, walk around, and make sure that you give your brain time to process all the information that you've just put in there. And don't forget the importance of staying hydrated. Keep a water bottle at your desk and make it a really daily habit to drink water regularly through the day. In my book, I talk about the 3 Ps: pace, plan, and prioritize. And this goes for everything. Pace yourself, set manageable tasks, plan and get yourself organized, and prioritize, focus, and start with the most important tasks. Taking care of your brain is a really ongoing process that involves a combination of daily habits, lifestyle adjustments, nutrition, and a commitment to this continuous improvement. By integrating some of the strategies that we've discussed today, you can enhance your cognitive performance, sharpen your focus, and maintain mental clarity, even in the face of life's daily challenges. Remember, small changes when practiced consistently lead to significant results over time. Today's episode has been a deep dive into the complex and fascinating world of brain performance and cognitive function. We've explored that multifaceted approach that functional medicine offers, how understanding and addressing the underlying factors from nutrition, nutrients, lifestyle to key supplements and daily habits can all lead to a sharper and more resilient mind. We've covered how crucial it is to support your brain with the right nutrients, to manage stress effectively, prioritize sleep, and stay physically active. We've also talked about the science behind some of those supplements like NAD and MCT oil, and how they can give your brain that extra edge, especially for those who are navigating busy, demanding lives. Key takeaways really are to implement a holistic approach, and functional medicine really does focus on this, to make small changes that have big impact, and also to listen to your body. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Good Health Podcast. I hope this discussion has given you a deeper understanding of how to support your brain health and cognitive function, even in the face of that busy lifestyle. Remember, cognitive performance isn't just about quick fixes, it's about sustainable long-term health practices that allow you to thrive mentally, physically, and emotionally. If you want to deep dive into brain health, cognitive function, and a holistic approach to optimizing your health, you can get a copy of my book, Optimal You, now. It's available nationwide in all the big retailers and some independent bookstores. It's also available internationally, online, and in bookstores. You can visit optimalyoubook.com to see where you can purchase a copy, or hit the links in the show notes. With the book, you get a 14-step nutrition plan, plus details on how to tailor your wellness journey to deep dive into your focus areas even more, plus access to an online book resources section of the website, which has recipes, guides, tools, and more. If you found this episode helpful, consider sharing it with others who might benefit from these insights. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are some of the strategies that you've tried to enhance your focus and mental clarity? Let me know or reach out with any questions. Don't forget that taking supplements is personal and they interact with health conditions, other supplements, and medications. It's always best to get a review with a practitioner who can best advise you on the best supplements for you personally, given your goals and health status. You can now book a 15-minute supplement review with me for £50, and you can find the link in the show notes below this episode. Until next time, keep nourishing your brain and take care of your health.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Good Health Podcast. Do share the episode with anyone you think it may benefit, and help us to spread the word on all things health and wellness by rating, liking, or subscribing to the podcast. If you want more, you can listen to more episodes on your favourite podcast app, or sign up to my newsletter for my favourite tips, tricks, health advice, brands, recipes, and more at nicolegoodhealth.com/newsletter. Have a lovely week. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Good Health Podcast.